Hi, my name is Kinga and I started making YouTube videos right after my divorce to document for myself and my closest friends how I was and how I am currently reinventing myself and my whole life. Plus it turned out to be a great self-help or therapeutic tool. So it's a pretty interesting and useful experiment for me. And if you found this video, don't forget that you can give it a like, share it, leave a comment, or God forbid, subscribe to the whole channel. Hold on a second. Actually, the video that you're about to watch is something I recorded a couple of days ago, and while I was editing it, I realized that I made a huge mistake. I actually forgot to put my phone on airplane mode during recording, and the reason why that is important is because what happens, because I have this microphone, right, that I plug into my iPhone, that's how I record my videos, and then if I forget to put it on airplane mode, there's going to be this very weird, pretty annoying noise in the background at certain times. It's like an interference radio. I don't even know what it is, but it's pretty annoying. And I downloaded lots of different apps to try to get rid of this noise, but none of them really understood the task. So I thought, you know what, I probably don't have a choice because I don't really want to re-record the whole video because it was like 20 minutes of me talking. So I would just really ask you, or like to ask you now, to please bear with me, forgive me for this. And I know you're going to notice it because it's pretty noticeable and pretty annoying, but please forgive me and listen or watch the video anyway, and I hope it's not going to disturb you too much, but thank you. Lots of things happened to me since my divorce, which was about 2 years ago, and I like to be open and transparent and share my thoughts and my struggles and my little everyday success stories with you. Things I figured out on the way and learned, and I just think, you know, it could be useful because probably many of you can relate and even find inspiration in this. Plus it also helps me summarize my thoughts and understand myself and my relationships better. In this video, I wanted to talk about how I got my shit together when it comes to finances and work, and where I am at right now, and how I gave up my previous career possibilities for something that I found much more important. So I studied international relations and marketing communications, and basically always had an office job, sitting at desks, staring at computers. And at one point in my life, I just had enough, and I felt the need and desire to do something with my hands, to have a job that is more hands-on. And I felt that it would give me confidence because I would have an actual skill, and creating something with my hands would also give this instant feeling of accomplishment. And I just had enough of, you know, creating only virtually, and to distinguish my Mondays from my Tuesdays by the number of emails I got to send out. I wanted to see tangible results of my work and experience the joy of creating. So I made a short detour and I went to learn hairdressing. Because I was always fascinated by hair cutting, like all my life. I cutted my hair, my friend's hair, my boyfriend's hair. So at one point, I stopped working with marketing and I worked as a hairdresser for a while. Then I got another interesting opportunity, which kind of took me back to working in an office. But then again, at one point, I felt suffocated and wanted more freedom and the physical creation and learning a new skill. So I took up ceramics and was designing and making ceramic tableware. And I promised to myself that I will never go back to working in an office ever again. Office work was just, it was killing my soul. Plus, most office jobs don't end when you leave the office. You know, you take your stress, your worries home with you. And I remember many of my weekends were actually spent thinking if I made the right move, the right decision at work, or maybe not, and have I ordered enough of this and that, or will I be in trouble on Monday? So I always had this constant anxiety, trouble sleeping, and it was just taking over my whole life, and I didn't want that. I found more joy in creative things and the feeling of freedom. I was designing and making ceramic tableware, yes, but to take off the financial stress from my art, which clearly needed freedom and no pressure, I decided to look for a part-time job, something that would bring in the money I needed, so my art business didn't have to become like this production for money kind of thing, because then I thought it would lose, or I would lose the attraction to it. And when I say I decided to look for a part-time job, what I really mean is I decided to manifest one. I didn't care about the position or the job title itself. I just wanted, I didn't actually want a career, out of the whole thing. I just wanted a secure monthly income. And I got down to making a list of all the conditions that mattered to me. And I included the visualization of it in my daily meditations. And I basically wanted a part-time job that would require me to work maximum 4 hours a day and not to start before 9 or 10 in the morning, pay well, and let me just run around feeling free and mobile and not have to talk to or meet a lot of people and not have a boss on my back. And something that would bring no stress to my life. So just something simple and easy to do. The job that found me was a 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, 11 to 15 job. 11 to 15, so I didn't have to get up early. It paid well, and I only had to drive around, visiting petrol stations, checking the petrol prices, uploading them to an app, no colleagues, no boss, and I could just listen to my music and audiobook while driving and feeling free. If I wanted to name the job or the position, I would have never been able to come up with it. I never actually knew that such a job existed. All I knew and cared about were the conditions that I wanted and a job that matched all, like everything on my list actually found me. It really found me. I didn't even have to look for it. I actually believe that it was created for me. And this surprise part of manifestation stories are my favorite, actually, because you just have to decide and know what you want and let the universe figure out the how and how is it going to be delivered to you. I kept this side job for years. In fact, right after my divorce, when I was going through the grieving phase, interrupted by short periods of depression, I was actually unable to do anything else. I knew I had no choice but to work in order to, afford my rent and food, obviously. But if I had to get up earlier and go to an office and be kind to 20 other people and take instructions from some asshole and take a lot of stress up on me and everything that comes with an office job, I would have been unable to do so. So this, let's say it, introverted job was a perfect way for me to survive. And about a year later, finally feeling better and coming out of depression and grieving, I realized that I used up a big part of my savings and I just cannot go on like this. And I knew I needed an extra job. To be honest, just reading most of the job ads that you find out there already bored me. Just reading it was already boring. The job descriptions made me say no to even applying. And I do have this inner frustration at times, when people make each other feel like your job title or position or career level tells a lot about who you are. And if you haven't achieved a certain thing by a certain age, you're nothing. And I have to fight my inner demons with regards to this. And I myself used to judge people based on their jobs or level of education when I was young and stupid. But at 40, I know that there's always more to it, that everyone has a story and you never know why someone ends up doing something. And just because it's a simple job, it doesn't always mean that they are simple. And I understood that we don't get to take anything with us when we die. And when we are dying, the thing we're going to remember the most is our human connections, the relationships, the fun we had, or in general, how we felt. And I learned from many of the spiritual teachers, and especially Abraham Hicks, that we don't come here to get to somewhere or progress into something or achieve whatever. We are here for the fun of it. We are here to experience things that can only be experienced on this physical plane, and we're supposed to enjoy the journey. Joy should be the number one goal while here. As in finding true happiness in everything that you do. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what you do. Plus the other secret to remember is whatever vibration you emit or send out is what you're going to attract more of back to you. So if I constantly complain about how much I hate my job and I do something that stresses me out on a daily basis, and I'm already sick Sunday evening about going to work the next day, I will only get to attract experiences or other jobs or job offers that will make me feel the same way eventually. So why not do something that I actually enjoy. Now, if a certain position brings you joy, or like getting to a certain career level brings you joy, then you should absolutely pursue it. You should do it. If becoming someone, as in famous for something or known for something, is what fulfills your soul and desires and makes you feel happy, you should go for it. But to me, joy is found in small things, like not have to get up too early, being able to listen to my favorite audiobook, podcast, or music during the day or whenever I feel like it, taking a break whenever I want to, and not having stress in my life, not have to deal with too many people, getting enough free time outside of work. So I decided that I wasn't gonna look for a job within my field, such as marketing or anything that would involve office work. I decided to focus on and find myself some more simple jobs, that would offer more flexibility, less responsibility and stress, and okay, maybe less money too, but I honestly value how I feel more than money. So I kept that side job, the petrol price reading job that I told you in the beginning. I kept that part-time job, and I got myself another extra job at a food delivery company. And I realized that I actually enjoy both of these. I can sometimes feel awkward when someone asks me what I do, because I don't want them to think that I do these jobs because I'm not able to do anything else, or I'm not educated or smart enough or whatever. But that's something that I have to fix in myself. In fact, I think that doing these jobs teaches me to be more humble and more accepting of others and more open-minded. And with the food delivery job, I actually really love that I get to choose my own working hours. I get to drive this really cool, brand new, pink electric car, and I love driving it. It's so effortless and it's full of extras. And I just love that instead of having to sit in an office without windows or with like really bad artificial lights and having to stare at a monitor all day, which would probably ruin my eyesight long term, I just get to be outdoors. I mean, even though I'm in a car, but I see the city, the nature, the world around me in daylight, which already lifts my spirit. It makes me feel like I'm taking part in what's happening. I'm taking part in life. I'm not like locked up somewhere in a basement, with bad lighting, and that would probably just drive me crazy after a while, and I would have to listen to some other people's stupid music or the radio that I would never want to listen to, or it just like, I just love that whatever is my direct surrounding is something that I get to create myself. I get to choose it. I get to choose which music I want to put on, or maybe I just want to listen to audiobooks. So I enjoy the freedom in creating my own environment. And I also love that I actually get to improve my eyesight during work by alternating between the near and far focus, having to look close on the phone, the GPS, then far ahead on the road, which is the best way to exercise your eye muscles. So I will probably not gonna need glasses. Plus, I also appreciate some challenges that it brings me, how it gets me out of my comfort zone when, for example, I have to walk into a crowded restaurant or even a shopping center, which I would always avoid in my private life. But here I must go in there and find my way and not let the presence of other people, maybe even looking at me, get me anxious and sweat. You may not have this issue and you may not understand what I mean, but I can feel really uncomfortable at times in a crowd as an introvert, and I really avoid shopping centers. I also appreciate that I'm kind of forced to have these short and sweet interactions with people when I pick up food from a restaurant and when I drop it off at a client. And I don't know how it is in other countries, but here in Sweden, people are so incredibly kind and helpful and grateful when you deliver something that they ordered. It's a nice experience. And even when I'm not in my best mood, I can choose to be kind and smiling for that short period of time and wish them a pleasant day or a nice evening, and it just makes it all feel so easy. Also, my job is really not stressful at all, and with each food delivery, it feels like I solve a problem or I offer a solution, which can also give this feeling of accomplishment or success. Now, to further increase my income, I also accepted another extra job where I actually visit a family who lives like 5 minutes drive from me and who need help in their household with basic household duties like laundry, cleaning, ironing. And at first, like, I was like, really, like, I'm gonna be someone's cleaner at 40. But they are super, 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 super kind and very sweet people, and they really treat me with so much respect. And I do like doing this job because I find it so relaxing. Like, okay, physically tiring and all that, but mentally it's so relaxing. And I myself really enjoy seeing the difference that I get to make in their home and life every time I visit. And they also appreciate it so much. So you get this instant positive feedback for your work being important and valued. And when I said I accepted this extra job, right, I said that. But what I meant is I manifested it, because prior to that job finding me, I remember I was already visualizing, like, you know what, I would love an extra job very close to where I live, so I maybe don't even have to drive. Like, when it's good weather, I could just walk or cycle over there. I said cycle, huh? Now check out the video that I recorded this morning when I actually went over to the family to work. And let me just say thank you again for still sticking to this video and still watching it despite of that annoying interference sound, whatever it is. Thank you. Keep on watching. And I would like just, want to help out people in their household duties and just do some basic stuff that I know how to do and I know I'm good at. And I wasn't giving it a name, like, yeah, it's a housekeeper job or a cleaner job or whatever, but I was focusing on the conditions, and I was kind of visualizing that. And I remember that one of the main condition was that it's got to be very close to where I live, that I could just walk over. And that also the other important factor for me was that it offers me this flexibility where I get to tell them which days and what hours and from what time to what time I could be doing that. And it's exactly like that. So yes, right now I have 3 jobs, which have nothing to do with my studies or previous work experience or the career potentials I could have had. But I feel freer than ever, and I'm enjoying all of them. And I still struggle when someone asks me what I do for a living, but I decided to answer them with what I want to be doing for a living, what I actually visualize for myself, and that is creating custom-made guided meditations for people. You probably actually heard me mentioning it in my other videos. And if you want to know more, you can go and check out my website on KingaKremer.com. And I remember that the need for this service just showed up in my life. I was asking the universe, like, how I could be contributing to other people's happiness, and I would love to do something where I can serve, something that I'm good at, something where I can use my skills. And I don't even know what my skills are. Obviously something to do with my voice. I was just like asking for, I wasn't, again, visualizing a particular thing. I was more like having this open heart to whatever opportunity they would think that would suit me, and whatever they think could be the way for me to contribute. I was honestly asking for that. And the need for this service just showed up in my life thanks to my YouTube channel and my published meditations and the people who found them. And it's relatively new in my life, but since I made my website, some incredibly inspiring people found me and paid for my service, and they were all so happy about the meditations that they got. And I decided that I would love to spend more time doing that. So right now I want to keep doing the 3 simple jobs that I have, because I have a lot of costs, and I don't want to put pressure on the meditation business yet. But I don't even want to call it a business. Anyway, but I know that one day I would get to do that full time. So I decided that from now on, this is how I'm going to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Kinga, and I create personalized guided meditations for people who want to manifest their dreams and desires. While I was married, working part-time was enough to provide a comfortable life. But now as a single person, I realized that I have to work like at least double the amount to maintain the same level of comfort. And I was willing to do that, but I was not willing to have a stressful office job. So I made a list of all the details and the conditions when it comes to work that gives me joy. And I filled up my free time with jobs that allow me to have that joy. As part of my spiritual journey or personal development, I made a note of what I heard from Neil Donald Walsh, that your life is not about you, but everyone else whose life you touch and the way you touch them. So my next level of focus is to, instead of just picking jobs for myself that I enjoy doing, will be to do something that allows me to contribute to other people's joy. Well, you can look at the food delivery job or the housekeeping job position as something that brings joy to people. I mean, clearly. But I would like to extend that to something even more meaningful. So my next step or my next chapter will be to create or manifest new circumstances in my life where I get to do that. The meditation business is a perfect way to contribute to other people's happiness, that's for sure. And I have some other dreams and visions that I received while doing my meditations and prayers. I'm not exactly ready to talk about them just yet, but one day I will share it with you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and so when I get to publish a video about that, you get to hear about it first. So the point of this video was to tell you how I think you can find joy in work, and that rather than chasing money or other worldly possessions, how about choosing jobs that you actually enjoy doing? Down to every details of it, like all the conditions of the job. If you love your career and what it offers, do it. If you hate it or find no joy in it, leave it and make a list of how you want to work and how you want to feel during the work. And what are the most important factors and conditions for you at work? And manifest something that brings you that. How? By simply meditating on it, visualizing it daily. I actually have a generic meditation for that, which I will link in the description below and at the end of this video. But if you want a more specific, personalized guided meditation to attract the joyful working conditions to your life in a relatively short time, you know where to find me, KingaKremer.com. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.